Join the Chickasaw and Kana Foundation for the 5th annual Piamico Day wreath laying ceremony at Fair Park in downtown Tupelo on October 13th. Starting at 10 a.m., enjoy demonstrations of Chickasaw history and culture, followed by the wreath laying ceremony at noon.
At Bulldog Burger, we take the burger game to the next level, like the Freshman 15, stacked with panko fried mozzarella. Unleash your appetite.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Good evening and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and you have survived day one of the work week. The rest of it, it'll be a breeze, right? Well, at least with the rain chances and the cold front clearing on out, there's an action-packed week. And what do they say? The busier, the more time flies. So, hey, there you go. Busy weather situation. Well, our time should fly. We'll be at the end of the week in no time. Let's take a look at those headlines that we have tonight. Rain chances linger into our Tuesday. Yes, we're not done with them just yet, but fall-like effects on the way beyond those rain chances. So there is good with the rain, and there's good by the end of the week as well. But enjoy the rain while it's here, because beyond that front, it's going to be a dry forecast. We'll see that high pressure dominated air move into our area and clear out this entire forecast. It will not look like this as we're tracking those conditions tomorrow at 11 p.m. Still around 20% coverage, but those chances lingering right around that 30% range overnight. You wouldn't be surprised to hear a few rumbles of thunder as well, but do not be alarmed. No inclement weather is expected. And as we get towards tomorrow morning, of course, we're dropping to the low 70s. A very mild start, might I say, for this time of year. But then those temperatures throughout the day not climbing as much. Still going to be above average, but from the low 70s, we're only talking about the mid 80s towards tomorrow afternoon. We're getting a live look there in Fulton, thanks to one of our MDOT traffic cameras. 73 degrees right now, but as you can see, humidity, or dew point, should I say, right around that same mark as rain showers have moved right over the area, making those roads a little bit slick. So cars traveling, I see I-22 busy, and also folks there in downtown Fulton a little bit busy. Drive slow. It is going to be some of those slick conditions, and with nighttime falling, of course, that sunshine not going to be burning up that moisture, so that's going to linger into those overnight hours. Cleveland, a good look out of there right now, 75 degrees, and those winds a little bit breezy there, blowing that American flag, and also you're seeing those cloudy conditions, a little bit of those showers there lingering there in the Cleveland area right along the Mississippi River. So if we get a look out of our Mississippi Live Weather radar right now, you'll see that we have a few showers. What we're dealing with is these bands. We have this low pressure center that we'll see here in just a moment that's kind of wrapping around these bands, and as you can see, moving in this counterclockwise motion. So as we can see right here, is it going to let me draw? I don't know if it will. I don't think we'll be drawn today. Oh wait, no, it is right there. Sweet. Okay, so you have this counterclockwise motion, so all of that moisture being dragged in, but similar to how, I'm not saying this is a tropical system, but similar to how a tropical system is set up, how it has those bands that kind of wrap around the eye of the storm, similar to that situation is what we're getting with those bands developing. So here you see a band, there you see a band, there you see a band. So just kind of these individual bands that are trying to wrap around that center of the storm, and of course bringing some locally heavy rainfall to some locations, but all in all, I mean, especially like if you were at the Maynor household, not getting that much rainfall. My wife actually texted me about an hour ago and said, Gabe, we're getting rain, all caps, very excited because it was such a dry forecast up until that point. We're going to swap up there to our Memphis radar site, and as you can see, we do have flash flood warnings that are in effect until midnight this evening. That's around the Arkansas area, but parts of Tunica County included within that. As you can see right here, let's zoom in just a bit to get a better visual, and that's going to be right on the west side of Highway 61 for folks there towards Commerce, Norfolk, and the Darwin community. Let's get a look at those rainfall totals, because I mean, you can see the bullseye that is encompassing this flash flood warning. I'm going to zoom back into that spot because that's really where our notable rainfall totals have come from. And if we highlight in a few of those totals, we're talking in the purple, 6.5 inches over the past 24 hours. So are we surprised there's a flash flood warning? Not one bit. And even outside of that bullseye, getting about 4, 4.5, even a few 5s and 6s sprinkled in there. So yeah, this has been a very active area for some parts, but we usually get that in the DeSoto and Tunica County area. What we need to look at is elsewhere and how much rainfall we did receive. And you can see a few locations, and it almost looks like those bands are already set up with the accumulated rainfall totals. But some of those heaviest portions, an inch there in Clay County, 1.5 inches there towards Calhoun County. Yes, we did get a little bit here in Lee County, about 1/2 inch, but down there around Hollandale and over there towards Sunflower County, we're talking 1.25, 1 inch total. So folks getting some decent rainfall outputs, but then we look in some areas where there's just trace amounts of rainfall. Unfortunately, there are still several locations that do need that rainfall. So yes, the percentages are there. Yes, they're moving in these cycles, but overall, not everyone going to be getting that meaningful moisture into those overnight hours. So currently that low pressure center, I know it's not indicated right here, but if we draw in a red L, which is typically indicated for low pressure, we'd have it placed right there on the west side of Memphis. So why is Memphis getting so much rainfall? Well, usually the more moisture is right around the heart of the storm. So all of that wrapping around at that center, of course, we are going to get more rainfall accumulating, and that's just going to continue to wrap around in a very tight cycle because it's at the heart of the storm. So that's why we're getting all of that development right now. But everything elsewhere is this wraparound moisture, these bands of moisture that are continuing to wrap around this storm and give a few areas some scattered rain chances. But again, slim areas where we're getting that rainfall to occur. We do have this large area, right between these two bands that do not have a drop of rainfall. So I think this describes it well. LOL. That's how you describe today's forecast. It's not exactly something that we enjoy. It's kind of teasing some parts, but yeah, a big LOL for that forecast. Hey, that kind of worked out. Let's go ahead and get into our futurecast right here. And you can see how that low continues to wrap around some of that moisture. Let's just get a look right here where you can really see those winds ratcheting around that low. You can see that counterclockwise motion right at the heart of this storm there towards northeast Arkansas. So there's a good indication of what we'll be dealing with here in North Mississippi. All across the southeast as that continues to work its way through. But expanding this out on the broad track, you can see this cold front that's inching closer and closer and closer. That's going to drive our forecast. Are you excited for fall? Well, this is going to be the big indicator of when that fall season enters. By 8, 9 o'clock, northern Arkansas going to be experiencing that and kind of driving this moisture out. So that low still bringing in some of that Gulf moisture with those southerly winds taking place. So going to see scattered showers once again all across North Mississippi and northern Alabama. But that front driving that moisture away, and it's not going to be sitting over our area for too much longer. Tuesday looks like it is the day. And then beyond that, it's not shaping up to be a dreary forecast moving forward. Our best rain chances, about 30% there for the morning commute, 50% towards that early afternoon. And as we get towards the late evening, we are going to be experiencing about 20 to 30% coverage with those chances diminishing greatly into our Wednesday. Some isolated showers linger for our Wednesday's forecast, but we'll look at that here in more detail in the Room to Room Weather Center coming up in the next 60. Just what to expect for Tuesday's rainfall totals here in North Mississippi, what to expect for Wednesday's rain chances, and then the calm after the storm. Yes, fall is right around the corner. We're excited to track that out for you once more here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, live from the Room to Room Weather Center in the next 60.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, a calm night across the Magnolia State, but what is a beautiful evening because it's bringing us some beautiful rainfall. Yes, still much needed across the region. Greenwood getting a good look at some of those darker clouds where some of those rain showers that, of course, a band of rainfalls continue to move on through. 77 degrees right now. Dew point right around 72, so it shows that moist environment we're still dealing with. And even over there towards Macon, a few isolated showers expanding on through, but even those starting to dissipate out just a bit more. So at least a drier forecast for folks traveling down 45. 73 degrees, dew point 71, so temperatures not cooling off as much as we want it to overnight. A very mild start towards our Tuesday, but no complaints. It's bringing us what we need, rainfall. So there's your bands of rainfall that we've been tracking. Of course, that one expanding from Alcorn County all the way into northern Monroe County, and then another band trying to work its way in there towards Noxubee, Pickens, and Lowndes County. Elsewhere, right along the Mississippi Delta, basically parallel to I-55, we're seeing that for folks in Greenwood, Clarksdale, Hernando, that entire line encompassing that area, with some heavier sections right along Highway 6 and Highway 61, that intersection right there. So we've been watching a lot of rainfall in our forecast, and fortunately, we are getting a little bit more into those overnight hours. 30% coverage around midnight, 30% coverage around 6 a.m., 72 only falling to 70 towards tomorrow morning. So like we said, a mild start, not exactly going to be a comfortable start to our Tuesday. Tuesday, as you can see, Tuesday morning, should I say, 1 to 2 o'clock, a few of those showers, a few of those bands trying to work their way in at the heart of that low pressure center, still over there in northeast Arkansas. So that's our best chances of rain. A few of those on the outskirts could definitely be produced, but overall, that's where if you want meaningful moisture, be in Batesville, be in Oxford, be in Holly Springs, or be in Olive Branch for our Tuesday overnight hours. Tuesday morning, some more of those bands try to work their way eastward. We'll track that here in just a moment. Low temperatures, yes, mild. If you want to enjoy the mild conditions, you don't have it for too much longer. But if you're like me and waiting for fall, we don't have it for too much longer. There's a difference in tones. 70 degrees Tupelo, 69 Amory, and 69 around Houston, 71 Greenwood, Cleveland, 70 around Clarksdale and Tunica. Let's go ahead and get into that school day forecast where, of course, a mild start transitions into a warmer afternoon. Typically, we should be in the low 80s, upper 70s right now. 83 degrees still by that final bell during the afternoon. What's going to help with a few of those temperatures? Of course, that rain-cooled air, and so that's going to help for those temperatures to be slightly more bearable. But granted, I mean, it's 83 degrees. If it was 83 degrees in summer, we'd be overjoyed, but we're just in the fall season. We're ready for those 83s to start to feel like 60 at this point. 7:30 on your Tuesday morning, those bands extending eastward like we said, so a few teachers and students dealing with those rain showers on their morning commute. That's really what will be the case throughout our Tuesday morning altogether. Scattered showers right along the Alabama state line as that low starts to transition a little bit more north and northeast, away from us here in North Mississippi, but with the afternoon heating taking place and that Gulf moisture still being brought in, a few more of those showers do develop towards our Tuesday afternoon. And then we have the mixture of the frontal boundary that pushes in there towards our Tuesday afternoon, that a big driver supplying some lift, and that's where we're going to see some more showers develop towards Shelby, Clarksdale, Sardis, Holly Springs, and Corinth by 3 o'clock on your Tuesday. So for folks that are wanting to head home or have any afternoon activities that need those dry conditions, well, if you're south and east at 3 p.m., you're looking good. But that, of course, all starts to move a little bit more east, and those showers will come with it. So that's going to be our best chance for rainfalls as this front starts to extend on through. But really during that mid-afternoon time frame will be our best chances before those showers really start to dissipate on out, with, of course, daytime heating going away as that sun sets. But high temperatures for your Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it, because this all starts to change in that extended forecast. 86 Bruce, 86 Grenada, 84 Cleveland, 86 around Greenville. That, of course, getting cooler in the extended forecast because the cold front is bringing the cold front. Yeah, it's colder conditions. I was trying to make something fun there, but I guess I couldn't do it. I'll let the cold front speak for itself and those dry conditions cycling in behind it. A few more of those showers trying to wrap around, and of course those not going to be anything too significant. So above all else, we'll deal with a few showers for our Wednesday morning, but those start to dissipate out and leave us with those dry conditions throughout our Wednesday. So that's what we're talking about, the complete flip of the switch in the forecast, and those northerly winds really cycling in some of that drier air. So by 12 p.m. on your Wednesday, of course, dry, clear, or not clear, but mostly partly clear. We'll take what we can get. Partly cloudy skies there for your Wednesday early afternoon, even into mid-afternoon. But all of that northerly wind is going to drive out all of that moisture, whether it be clouds, whether it be rainfall, and really just drive a clearer forecast in the extended picture. So Wednesday, 77 degrees, 76 Oxford. So cooler temperatures already starting to be felt with that northerly wind. But down south, 80 in Starkville, 83 in Columbus, and 83 around Macon and Aliceville. That's going to take a little bit longer to cycle in some of that northern air, but it will come. I promise you that, folks in Pickens and Noxubee County. Forecasted rainfall for your forecast heading into those overnight hours. And for our Tuesday, of course, 1/2 inch in Senatobia, Clarksdale, some locally higher areas with around 1 inch. But as we cycle into our forecast for, should be for Wednesday, this is where we see a lot of that start to shift a bit more towards the east, and about 1/10 of an inch here, 1/10 of an inch there. That's really going to be primarily towards that Wednesday morning hour. Thursday and Friday, dry as can be. So that's what we're talking about, the flip of a switch in the forecast. This is your best chance of rainfall, if not our only chance of rainfall over the next 7 days. And 84 degrees, the warmest it'll be over the next 7, with 79 Wednesday, 78 Thursday, and 79 Friday. If that's not good enough for you, let's track the lows. 69 falling to 66, falling to 57. Falling to 55 by Sunday. And then, of course, those rain chances fizzling on out into mostly sunny skies Thursday and Friday. And then your weekend looking spectacular right there with sunny conditions and cooler temperatures. So if you're looking to go to the pumpkin patch and get those pictures with the sweaters and all those outfits that we planned those pictures for, well, of course, this is the weekend to go ahead and do that with the great conditions we'll have and the cooler temperatures we'll be experiencing with it. We're just excited to be experiencing that forecast, and you can, of course, track it yourself using the Mississippi Live Weather app, readily available on your app store today. If you've not updated it, we did have an update come out last week, and that might help with some of how things are ran and help your app run a little bit more smoothly. But, of course, looking to supply even better improvements going forward for you guys and make you as readily prepared for weather in the future. But, of course, First step to do so, Mississippi Live Weather app. And it does have our 24/7 stream, which does have our live shows at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 on your Tuesday morning, and 5, 6, and 10 on your Tuesday evening. We'll be tracking the latest on that extended forecast with those fronts, and of course, what to expect with that more fall-like weather. We hope you guys have a fantastic night, and we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and